Netanyahu's eye on Iran. Did Mossad track Fordow for years before US strikes? US bombs Fordow. But was Israel already deep inside Iran's nuclear site? From Mossad intelligence to US bombs. How did Fordow become a top Israeli target? Fordow on Israel's radar for years? Ex-Mossad chief reveals startling insider details. Mossad's Iran file opens up as ex-chief reveals secret missions around Fordow. Former Mossad chief Yossi Cohen said Israeli operatives toured Iran's Fordow nuclear site several times to understand the facility and its underground structure. Cohen revealed the visits while speaking at the Galilee Forum in Safed on August 11, offering rare insight into Israel's long-running focus on Fordow. Cohen did not reveal when the visits took place or identify the Israeli operatives involved, according to reports on his remarks. He said the site being bombed by the United States represented the fulfillment of a long-held ambition for Israel's intelligence community. Yossi Cohen said, and I quote, "We toured the Fordow nuclear site many times in order to understand the site. The site being bombed by the Americans was the fulfillment of all my dreams," unquote. Fordow was among Iran's major nuclear facilities targeted during the 12-day Israel-Iran war, placing the deeply buried site at the center of the campaign. The underground facility was severely damaged alongside Iran's nuclear sites at Natanz and Isfahan during the strikes. Cohen also said uranium enriched to 60% was still far from becoming a nuclear weapon, a claim that differs from assessments about its potential to be enriched further. Experts have noted that uranium enriched to 60% can be processed further toward weapons-grade levels, making Iran's stockpile a major concern. Reports have suggested that Iran may have moved some of its enriched uranium to the nearby Pickaxe Mountain site before or during the strikes. That location was not hit during the earlier attacks and has remained a focus of President Donald Trump's threats and warnings. Cohen previously said Mossad first became aware of activity at Fordow as early as 2010, highlighting how long the facility had been under Israeli intelligence scrutiny. He said Israel once developed an ambitious plan to directly target the deeply buried nuclear facility, but the operation was considered exceptionally difficult. The proposed mission was described as extremely complex and would have required dozens of operatives working inside or around the facility. By the time Cohen became Mossad chief in 2016, he said the proposed operation had been shelved as Israel reconsidered how to confront the nuclear site. Israel instead focused on preparing its military for a possible strike against Iran's wider nuclear program, including its heavily fortified facilities. Cohen has previously revealed details about Mossad operations targeting Iran's nuclear infrastructure and gathering intelligence on its capabilities. His latest remarks offer a rare glimpse into how closely Israeli intelligence had tracked Fordow and studied the facility long before it came under US attack. Amid continuing threats from Iranian proxies, Netanyahu's forces are focusing on improving missile defense technology, particularly systems built to counter long-range ballistic threats from Iran and Yemen. Israel has successfully tested an upgraded version of its Arrow ballistic missile defense system, as part of a multi-year program to develop new capabilities and strengthen protection against future missile threats. The test launch was conducted at a dedicated test range in central Israel, involving Israel's Missile Defense Organization, the Israel Defense Forces, Israel Aerospace Industries, and the U.S. Missile Defense Agency. Details of the launch were reported by Militarny on August 9, which said the trial incorporated new technology, including artificial intelligence and automated control elements, although Israeli authorities withheld many specifics of the test. The upgraded system incorporates combat experience gained while intercepting Iranian ballistic missile attacks and strikes launched from Yemen, using that operational data to refine its tracking, targeting, and interception capabilities. Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 form the upper tier of Israel's multi-layered air defense architecture. Arrow 2 is intended for upper atmosphere interception, while Arrow 3 seeks to destroy long-range ballistic targets in space, providing overlapping opportunities to stop an incoming missile. Arrow 3 was developed by Israel Aerospace Industries in partnership with Boeing, under a U.S. Israeli missile defense program that combines Israeli system integration with substantial American funding and industrial support. It is an exo-atmospheric anti-ballistic missile interceptor, designed to engage incoming long-range ballistic missiles outside Earth's atmosphere during the mid-course part of their flight. Arrow 3 is the highest layer of Israel's missile defense network, operating above Arrow 2, David Sling, and Iron Dome to address the most distant and destructive ballistic missile threats before lower-tier systems must engage. The system is reported to have an engagement distance of up to approximately 2,400 kilometers, allowing it to attempt interceptions far from Israel and create multiple opportunities to destroy a threat before it nears defended territory. Its interceptor uses the hit-to-kill concept, meaning it relies on direct kinetic impact rather than an explosive warhead to destroy an incoming missile at extremely high speed. By intercepting missiles before their warheads are released or reach the atmosphere, Arrow 3 aims to neutralize the most dangerous component of the threat at a safe distance from the target country. This high-altitude approach can reduce the risk of smaller munitions falling from cluster warheads, as destroying the carrier missile earlier in its trajectory may prevent it from releasing submunitions over populated areas. Interception in space also minimizes debris falling inside defended areas, because much of the wreckage is expected to remain outside the atmosphere or land far from the intended target zone. Arrow 3 provides strategic-level protection against long-range ballistic threats, but its sophisticated interceptors, sensors, and command systems make it considerably more expensive than lower-tier defenses intended for shorter-range rockets and missiles. Israel's Arrow systems operate alongside Iron Dome, David Sling, and Iron Beam, forming a multi-layered defensive network in which each system is designed to confront threats at different ranges and altitudes. The Arrow 3 system is designed to conduct exo-atmospheric interceptions of ballistic targets, striking long-range missiles while they are still traveling through the spaceflight phase of their trajectory. Target detection and tracking for the Arrow system are provided by Green Pine and Super Green Pine radars, which feed long-range warning and targeting data into Israel's command, battle management, and fire control network. Green Pine radars can reportedly detect objects at ranges of around 500 kilometers, while the more powerful Super Green Pine variant can extend detection out to roughly 500 to 900 kilometers, depending on the target and conditions. Israel has integrated new technologies into the modernized Arrow system, including elements of artificial intelligence and automated control, in an effort to improve how quickly the network can identify, prioritize, and engage fast-moving ballistic threats. Israeli officials said the upgrades are aimed at countering emerging threats, especially evolving long-range ballistic missiles and the operational lessons drawn from recent attacks launched by Iran and Yemen. Beyond modernization efforts, Israel is also ramping up serial production of Arrow interceptors, seeking to replenish stocks and ensure it can sustain missile defense operations if the country again faces prolonged, high-volume ballistic attacks. Senior Iranian cleric Abdolnabi Musaffafard said Tehran was preparing to increase the range of its missiles to 15,000 kilometers, although he offered no operational details or evidence that such a weapon already exists. Speaking on August 7, Musaffafard said the extended missile range would enable Iran to strike the United States, using the claim to warn Washington that it could face direct consequences of future escalation. Musaffafard added that Iran's existing missile force could already reach Israel, which he described as roughly 2,000 kilometers away, highlighting Tehran's established regional strike capability before claiming a future intercontinental reach. Musaffafard said, and I quote, "We are preparing ourselves so that the American people, too, will see what it is like to be hit by missiles, and understand what it means to be left in blood and destruction." End quote. Musaffafard also said he hoped Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu would be destroyed by Iranian forces, reinforcing the highly confrontational tone of his remarks toward both Israel and the United States. The cleric's statement came as Iran and Oman said they had reached an understanding on coordinates for a shipping route through the Strait of Hormuz, with a joint announcement reportedly in the final drafting stage. The comments also surfaced amid reports that the U.S. had used nearly 80% of its pre-war THAAD interceptor stock, but that figure remains contested by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and should not be treated as confirmed fact. The U.S. military used nearly 80% of its THAAD interceptor stockpile during the Iran conflict, according to a CNN report. Reports also say the United States has expended roughly half of its Patriot missile inventory since the conflict with Iran began.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.